We both know why you're here. You read the title. Let's just get into it. Close your eyes. Tell me, what comes to mind when you think of good fighting games? You'll probably think of Super Smash Bros., Mortal Kombat, maybe even Tekken. Regardless, I disagree, but I see your argument. Out of every fighting game, I believe Brawlhalla is one of, if not the best fighting game, at least concept-wise. Now you're probably thinking, why should I listen to this random person's opinion on a game I've probably never heard of? And to that, my dear viewer, I have no idea. But listen anyway, because who cares? Those of you who know Brawlhalla have probably heard the horror stories that these poor players experience, whether that be facing annoying 6-spammers or desync. You will at first glance hear this and say, well, you clearly have no idea what you're talking about. This game is terrible. While I do agree this game is not perfect by any means, its concept is one of the best. For those of you unaware, Brawlhalla is a 2D platformer fighting game. This game is all about movement, spacing, good fundamentals. These matter more here than any other fighting game. The game does its absolute best to ensure that at no point do you feel like there is zero challenge ahead of you. Whether you're playing casually or are unfortunate enough to be heavily into esports like myself, you will find yourself having fun in your own way more often than not. Now, you've probably heard this point over and over, yet Brawlhalla is one of the very few games who has a good 2v2 system that doesn't feel like a glorified 1v1s with 4 players on the map. Team synergy matters significantly here. Other games struggle to do this, with exceptions for Rivals of Aether and Rivals of Aether 2, of course. However, those games were curated for esports / professional play specifically. In my personal opinion, fighting games should be fast-paced. That's kind of the whole point. I mean, why do you think Smash Bros. Melee has such a higher and loyal fan base than Ultimate? This exact reason is why I said one of in the title. Melee has been around since your great-grandpa was riding the dinosaurs and is alive, stronger than ever. Some could argue more than newer titles. Back to Brawlhalla. This game does what other games don't do very well in terms of balancing. No matter what legend you play, you will have one thing in common with every other legend. This being the unarmed state. Every legend starts off with bare hands with the exact same kit, forced to fight to unlock the full potential. Every legend is given 2 weapons and a signature kit, which was mentioned earlier. With the exception of a new weapons release, every character shares 1 weapon with another. Signatures act as a way of differentiating between characters and defining them and helping bring that more recognizable and standard specialized kit other games like Smash Bros. For example have. Other games fail their balancing or struggle terribly because one character's kit may be unviable, whether that be because they're weak, unpredictable, or simply just not fast enough. Regardless, this is not an issue in Brawlhalla due to the simple fact no character is inherently better than another, and there will always be a workaround depending on your playstyle. Games like Smash Bros., for example, have nightmarish incidents, like for example, this thing, or maybe this thing. Regardless, you get my point. Overall, it's not often you have situations where a person can choose a good character and randomly be a seasoned veteran. I think this balancing is beautiful and should be pointed out more. The skill floor is extremely high, which makes it where breaking into gold for the first time makes you feel invincible. Some players spend upwards of 1.5 years here. This makes the bigger achievements feel all that much better, especially when you hit the ultimate goal of an official esports player, or even Valhalla. With other games, you simply just don't get that satisfaction. Because you may rise there so much quicker than, say, Brawlhalla, where you had to work and invest time honing your skill, The game does a great job at ensuring that nothing is handed for free, but the next step is never far. The difference between Silver 1 and Gold 1 can simply be more patience. However, the difference from Gold 1 through 5 may be setting changes and more dash jumping. However, from Gold 5 to Plat 1 may be as high as learning your matchup into every single weapon, having basic understanding of spacing, and learning true combos consistently. The game also does a good job at rewarding the player by giving stat boosts, or different colors, maybe a different title for reaching certain levels. I, for example, am a level 76 VV main, so at level 50 I unlock the title The Deadly Dancer. This varies from character to character. At level 100 you will unlock your character's name, but golden. This makes it feel all that much more worth the grind. Regardless, most games don't do these things well, and these are a few reasons why I believe Brawlhalla is one of the better fighting games. Yet hey, what do I know? I'm a VV main anyway. So with that being said, subscribe or don't. I'm not your dad.